at the start show you the vote share and the seat share projections that are being put out by India Today and Access My India. And remember, these are hugely different from what people were expecting, as many people, except those who had access to this poll, thought that this would be a hung assembly, or they thought in the end the caste arithmetic would somehow see the NDA win. That's not what India Today and Access My India have found through this very exhaustive post-poll study. Coming up on your screen first are the vote share numbers from this post-poll analysis. India Today and Access My India project that the NDA will end up at 39% vote share. That's down 4% from the last time. Remember, last time JDU and BJP fought separately. We've added it. It's a bit of a mess, but that's just the reality, and they just flipped. So, you just have to do the data with the base that you start with. Look at that 15% number on your screen right now. The RJD, largely by itself, helped on the margins by the Congress, has managed to increase its vote share by 15%, aided in great measure by the addition of the CPI-ML and to some extent the CPI and to a lesser extent the CPIM in Bihar. As somebody was saying, soon there may be a situation where the left parties have more votes in Bihar than they do in West Bengal. And that would just be the irony of it all, given that these are neighboring states. The LJP, 7% vote share, 2%. Now, this would be one of the agar-magars of this election if Chirag Paswan was on the same ticket as the NDA. If they'd found a way of keeping him in the fold, could this result have been different? Because when to that 39%, you add the hypothetical 7% accretion, that is 46% for the NDA versus 44% for the Gathbandhan. On the other side, you've got the GDSF, which is the Grand Democratic Secular Front of Upendra Singh Kushwaha, Asuddin Owaisi and Mayawati's BSP at 4%. The NDA's calculation was, or the BJP's calculation was, that they would pick up 10% of the opposition vote. Instead, they picked up only 4% of the opposition vote, which means that they proved to be much smaller in terms of their impact than the NDA would have hoped for. Ensuring in the end, Rajdeep, in a bipolar contest, the Gathbandhan with a clear 5% lead. Concentration of voters of the Muslim Yadav vote bank, and now we're seeing the arithmetic of Bihar change, where the caste composition or the winning coalition is not MY, it's MYY. You've got the Muslims, you've got the Yadavs, and you've got the youth.
I think
this is a case of triumph of chemistry over arithmetic.
But let me again differ with my friend Javed, because chemistry is not enough. An election is fought on chemistry and arithmetic. Narendra Modi doesn't win elections only on chemistry at the center. He also builds a coalition. I think the challenge for Tejasvi, and this is why I think if these numbers hold, you've got to give him some credit, is that unlike his father, who got stuck in MY politics, and took it almost for granted, and as a result the EBCs deserted him, the Musahars, the Mahadalits deserted him. One by one, Lalu lost the broad social coalition. And the challenge for the RJD, Rahul, to my mind, has that over time, MY meant Dabangai on one side and Muslim politics meant Hindu consolidation on the other. The BJP became the beneficiary of that. Tejasvi's challenge was, how will I be seen as a politician beyond MY? The youth is a factor, but I have no doubt if these numbers hold, it's not just the youth. He will have got EBC votes, he'll have got women votes, and he would have...
Rajdeep, I have the data here.
Yes.
The EBC vote, to be fair to Nitish Kumar, has largely held on with
as per your
Nitish
survey.
Kumar. Yes. And the Dalit vote is the vote that's got split. Because of the CPI-ML coming on the ticket, the Dalit vote is the vote that's got split. The EBC vote, the Kurmi Kori vote, largely still with Nitish Kumar.
I'll tell you one more reason.
has held on to his vote bank. It's not as if it's crashed.
This is my theory. This is spin, you can call it. I'll tell you one reason why what you just said could be true, but why I also believe he's got a chunk of the EBC. And this is again talking to sociologists and people who've studied migration. Many of those who've suffered, the migrants, कौन होता है वो ऑटो रिक्शा ड्राइवर जो मुंबई जाता है बिहार से, वो अक्सर होता है ईबीसी से. वो कौन होता है जो जाता है दलित समाज से जाता है? The poor have been hit the most by the lockdown, and the time that the more we wake up to this reality, I don't think, in a sense, maybe the BJP has woken up to this reality, but I'm not sure enough for them to understand the depth of it. Nirmala Sitharaman went to Bihar and spoke of free vaccine. That's not what people want in Bihar. They want jobs. They want cash in hand. You know, they want cash in hand. They haven't been given. If, according to me, you had given a minimum support over 6 months, you might have offset. But this is my theory.
No, but in
I
the
think
poll,
that
in the poll it emerges
But the
that
poorer you
people
are-
appreciate the LPG, they appreciate the limited
वो हो
cash
गया,
transfer.
वो
Yeah.
2015
They've said that's
वो
good.
मोदी को हमने reward कर दिया
No,
ना,
during the
उज्ज्वला के
lockdown,
लिए।
the rations that
नहीं,
were
नहीं,
coming. The
boss,
rations that were coming.
उज्ज्वला को
why
हमने
didn't they vote
मोदी
for
को
it?
No, because they didn't have jobs. They didn't have employment. That's what upset them more. They said, yes, ye mila. When they were asked,
Yes.
did you get ration? Yes. Did you get the house? Aaya tha bank mein. They accepted that. But they were unemployed. They weren't earning at this moment. They have
That's
no
my
cash. That's a
point.
much bigger
The
problem.
main thing that mattered was...
You see, if you are given 1,000 rupees a month versus 5,000 rupees, as some are saying, per month, I know it's not easy, but unless you give a minimum support price to those who've lost their jobs in the last 5 months, they are going to be disappointed and despondent. And I think somewhere that's coming. Look at these
Sham
numbers.
Rajak is joining us.
Yes,
He's
please
a
go
big
ahead.
man in the RJD.
Yes,
Sham
Rahul
Rajak.
and Rajdeep, can I make a
Oh,
small
can we
please
go?
do,
Yeah.
please do.
Okay, go on.
A very small point. I think like the EBC point is important. So yes, Nitish managed to hold on to this base. But think of this, like in 2019, out of 4 voters, EBC voters voted for them.
Now
it's 57. So 20%.
Consolidation is not as much. That's a fair point. Sham Rajak joins us. Will be a man we'll be hearing a lot about when if and when the exit poll comes out right. Rajiv Ranjan of the Janata Dal United, Guru Prakash from the BJP, and Anshul Avijit from the Congress. We want to go across first to Anshul. Anshul used to be a former colleague, joining us now for the first time, at least on my show, in his new capacity as a Neta. Anshul, you brought some good luck to the party, largely on account of young Tejaswi, but the Congress hopping on the same bandwagon will also do well on the 10th.
Yeah, delighted to be here, Rahul, and thank you for all that trivia. Yeah, it certainly looks like, you know, Tejaswi is going to be the second youngest chief minister of that state. So it's really a season for change. You know, I want to go back. I was a month in Bihar, and I want to go back to that poll that you did just before, that pre-poll survey that you did. And in that, it was weighed heavily in favor of the NDA. And as polls go, pre-poll surveys go, they tend to consolidate in favor of who they, well, they start off in the beginning. There was a dramatic transformation somewhere in the middle of this election. I saw it when I saw the rallies, but the moment the rallies took off, and I went to the RJD and the Mahagathbandhan rallies, and I also saw the rallies of Modi and the NDA leaders. There was such a transformation between the two, because in one you saw energy and alacrity, the other you saw some kind of a thakan, a formality, a nirasta. That's what happened. And the mudda that Tejaswi and the Mahagathbandhan took up, we got it out in our manifestos as well, which was of berozgari, of unemployment, that tore through this election with such ferocity that it completely destroyed the NDA in its wake. I mean, that was one big factor that has tipped everything in favor of the Mahagathbandhan.
The Guru
also,
Prakash
by the way,
is one of the
remind
young
you
and
time
emerging
again,
faces.
It comprises of the Congress and the left parties as well. It's not
of the
just
BJP in
because we
Bihar.
bring
Guru
value
Prakash, now
to
this
the
point that
Mahagathbandhan as
Anshul
well.
makes about 10 lakh jobs, whether this comes out to be true or not, we don't know at this moment, because how in a cabinet he'll create 10 lakh jobs, that's very, very difficult. That's the question the BJP is asking. But people believed him. Like they believed Prime Minister Modi or candidate Modi when he said 2 crore jobs. People believed him. It's not just what the Neta says, it's about whether people attach a certain belief score to that claim. And in this post-poll study, it suggests that people were believing what Nitish Kumar was saying, were believing what Tejaswi Yadav was saying, and they weren't believing Nitish Kumar. He sounded like a tired and worn-out tape.
You see, Rahul, that has to be the most important takeaway of these elections. As we remember, RJD as a political party, family-based political party, caste-based political party, and only 20 years ago, and I'm sure Rajdeep ji would remember, the sort of slogans they were using, Bura Bal Saaf Karo and so on, in the name of polarizing caste, in the name of polarizing community, even these people have transformed themselves and started talking about jobs, public health, infrastructure, security of women. And this credit goes to the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, who has actually institutionalized the politics of performance in this country. As someone who is from Bihar, as someone who teaches at Patna University, as someone who is regularly updating oneself of the aspirations of young Bihar, yes, definitely, job security, public health became the core issues and the talking point of this election. And that has to be the most important takeaway of this election. As far as the number of exit polls are concerned and the observations of my friend Anshul Abhijit, exit polls have gone wrong in the past, and I'm sure this time also I would take it with a pinch of salt. I would still wait for a couple of days, and I'm still
But
assured,
Mr. Guru Prakash,
I'll
the
assure you
reality
this fact.
is, whether you accept it or not, if this post-poll study is correct, then joblessness, unemployment is a far bigger issue. The pinch is far harder than what the government has so far accepted in public, than what they want people to believe. People are feeling the distress, and when you yourself are struggling to survive, nothing no one says is believable, because you yourself are facing the brunt of a massive recession. That's the reality, sir.
I undoubtedly agree with you, Rahul. I undoubtedly agree with you. But Tejasvi Yadav, who is not eligible to apply for a job, who has not done a single day job in any government or a private sector, is speaking about jobs. That's very foolish. And let me be very clear with you that Tejasvi Yadav's whole promise of 10 lakh jobs, it's unthinkable, and it has not happened in the political history of not only that country but globally. He has no budget, no blueprint, no strategy, no vision. On the contrary, what our party has promised, there is a strategy, there is a breakup. Unlike what RJD has promised, they are just promising star and sky.
But
And
it
that's
doesn't
just
matter.
impossible.
This post-poll suggests people wanted to see Nitish Kumar go. That, okay, thank you very much. Net, we like what you've done, but you've run out of ideas, you've run out of steam. It's time for change. Manisha Prem, would you accept? It's not as if he's become an evil figure, or he's reviled or hated. The poll doesn't suggest that. 35% is pretty strong. It suggests that ab ho gaya, ab kisi aur ko mauka dena.
There's a certain anger in the people against him. Let's not. It's not something that Nitish ji anticipated or expected. There is also a critique of what the government has done or not done. There is also the fact that there has been a resurgence of the poor, the underclass. Somewhere they've fallen off the map of Sushasana. Remember, the CPI-ML was defeating the JDU in election after election. The Patna University, the bastion of Sushil Kumar Modi, Lalu Prasad Yadav politics, etc. City politics taken up by them. So in a sense, agricultural laborers combined with the misery of the labor that has gone back from urban
You are
centers.
seeing this therefore as an anger of the poor at one level.
Absolutely.
The anger of the poor, the fatigue possibly of the middle class, emerging middle class, the aspirations of the young all coming together. Rajiv Ranjan, JDU spokesperson with us. Rajiv ji, kahin na kahin something has gone wrong. If our numbers are right, ये नहीं कह रहे कि ये numbers 100% होंगे इसी तरह से 10, लेकिन एक ट्रेंड महसूस हो रहा है कि JDU के खिलाफ लोगों में या तो गुस्सा है, नाराजगी है या थकावट है.
देखिए, मुझे ऐसा लगता है जो चीजें एग्जैक्ट जो पोल आएंगे उससे बहुत सारी चीजें स्पष्ट होगी, इसलिए कि अलग अलग सर्वे मुकाबला नजदीकी जरूर बता रहे हैं, लेकिन 77 सीटों में जो कांटे के मुकाबले हैं उसमें दो चीजें बहुत ही अहम होंगी. एक, महिला मतदाताओं की जो निकटता नीतीश कुमार जी के कार्यक्रमों से रही और वो उनको और नरेंद्र मोदी जी को पसंद करती रही, एक उनकी भूमिका बेहद महत्वपूर्ण है. दूसरा, पोलिंग स्टेशन पर जो आक्रामक मतदाता आरजेडी के, उसके मुकाबले एनडीए के वोटर्स, पहले भी ये देखा जाता रहा है कि वो मतदान करते हैं और बहुत ज्यादा शोर शराबा नहीं करते हैं. तो ये बहुत कुछ नतीजों को लेकर के जो पिछली बार का भी आकलन,
नहीं, आप एक बड़ी बात कह रहे हैं, आप एक बड़ी बात कह रहे हैं कि एक साइलेंट वोटर है जो ये एग्जिट पोल कैप्चर नहीं कर पाते हैं. आपको लगता है वो साइलेंट वोटर एक तरह से जेडीयू के साथ रहेगा और एक तरह से आपकी पार्टी को बचाएगा. लेकिन मैं इसके साथ एक सवाल आपसे, और मैं आपसे आप जो भी जवाब देंगे थोड़ा सोच समझकर एक ऑनेस्ट जवाब दें, ईमानदारी से कहिए. कहीं ना कहीं जेडीयू में गुस्सा है कि नहीं कि जिस तरह से चिराग पासवान ने हमला बोला आपके नेता पर और बीजेपी ने उनको रोका नहीं, बीजेपी के केंद्र लीडरशिप ने रोका नहीं चिराग पासवान को. सच आज बताइए, अगर ये नंबर इसी तरह से रहे और 7% वोट चिराग लेता है और आपके खिलाफ मुहिम उठाता है, कहीं ना कहीं गुस्सा है या नहीं?
देखिए, मुझे लगता है अगर कोई आत्मघाती दस्ते में शामिल होना चाहे तो फिर उसे रोक पाना बहुत आसान नहीं होता है. उनकी बेचैनी बहुत ज्यादा थी और मुझे लगता है भारतीय जनता पार्टी के नेताओं ने जो शब्द उनके लिए कहे वो हम लोग भी नहीं कह पाते थे कि वो वोट कटवा है, लेकिन उनके लिए पार्टी की पहली कतार के नेताओं ने जो शब्द कहे हैं और बहुत ही सीधा संदेश था, लेकिन कई चीजों को लेकर
सर,
के जो अभी तक जो भी आपके सामने आंकड़े हैं जी
सर, आप मान तो जाइए, इतनी बात तो मान जाइए कि कहीं ना कहीं नीतीश कुमार को घेर लिया सभी लोगों ने। कुशवाहा जी भी नीतीश कुमार को एक तरह से टारगेट कर रहे थे, चिराग टारगेट कर रहे थे, तेजस्वी कर रहे थे। नीतीश वर्सेस ऑल बन गया एक तरह से, और उस तरह से बीजेपी आपको पूरी तरह से समर्थन नहीं दे पाई। अब प्रधानमंत्री भी आते हैं, उसके बावजूद अगर ये नंबर रहे तो क्या मैसेज जाएगा?
नहीं, सबसे पहले तो ये नंबर रहेंगे नहीं, मैं आश्वस्त हूं, ये नंबर ये रहेंगे नहीं, पहली बात। दूसरी बात ये है कि प्रधानमंत्री जी ने सभाओं में काफी मजबूती के साथ बिहार के मॉडल की सराहना की, नीतीश कुमार जी को हर संभव मदद देने का आश्वासन दिया। और मजेदार बात क्या है कि डेवलपमेंट को लेकर के नीतीश कुमार जी ने जो कोशिश की है उस पर भी बहस हो सकती है, ये चीज हुआ, ये चीज नहीं हुआ, लेकिन पहली बार बिहार की राजनीति में विकास एक केंद्रीय मुद्दा 2005 में बना, और कई ऐसे प्रश्न थे जो बिहार के विमर्श में पहले नहीं होते।
ठीक है, ये बात आपकी मैं बिल्कुल मानता हूं, ये बात मैं मानता हूं कि नीतीश कुमार ने नैरेटिव बदला। अब सवाल यह है कि 15 साल बाद क्या बीजेपी जो वोटर है अब नीतीश कुमार से थोड़ा उब गया है? बट राहुल, गो अहेड।
Okay, we just switched. Tejasvi Yadav said, हाँ, मंदिर बनना चाहिए.
And Rahul, link to this, and again, India, of course, cannot always, no two elections can be the same. But there is Tejasvi's advisors told him, localize. आपके गांव में जल से नल नहीं चल रहा है, उसको मुद्दा बनाओ। कहीं आपकी सड़क नहीं चल रही है, मुद्दा बनाओ। फ्लड की वजह से, बाढ़ की वजह से आपका रास्ता बह गया है या ब्रिज बह गया है, मुद्दा बनाओ। He did not fall for the BJP tries to put you in a trap by raising Article 370, by raising China, by raising issues of Jai Shri Ram, or the issues of Bharat Mata ki Jai. You see, BJP is at its strongest when on the other side you respond to them every day on their terrain. They are at their weakest when you play them on economic issues, because they don't have solutions either.
No, why is this a trap, Rajdeep? Those are the issues that the BJP cares about. Nationalism, it's asking voters to choose. Let vote. Why are you calling this a trap?
No, Rahul.
It's for voters to decide.
Because there are limits to this politics of nationalism in a local election. I'll give you an example. I went in Maharashtra to see an election which was fought by Pankaja Munde in Bid. Amit Shah comes there last year and speaks about Article 370. The audience started moving away. They were not interested. You see, it may have worked.
Nationalism can only be an issue in a national election.
Absolutely, Rahul, and therefore it worked in the post-Balakot context. You see, there was Balakot. Let's be honest. People ask me what changed between January of 2019, when opinion polls were indicating a tougher contest, and May. Balakot happened, and Modi, as a muscular nationalist, was ideally placed to play leadership on the front foot. But had that election taken place in COVID times, I don't know what could have happened. Then economic distress could have been the issue. So you have to recognize the issues of your time and build coalitions along it. That's my view. And Tejasvi was there at the right place at the right time, picking up the right issues in Bihar, as was Biden in America.
But remember, and it will look very obvious in hindsight, but Nitish Kumar went into this election facing 3 terms of anti-incumbency. Sure. He went into this election facing a pandemic, a global pandemic, which was impacting and devastating Bihar, migrants coming back, unemployment at a peak. The deck is rolled against you.
Absolutely, Rahul, but my point again is, let's be clear, the same Nitish Kumar who today we are attacking, 18 months ago was part of an alliance with Narendra Modi that won 39 out of 40
But there was no
seats.
pandemic.
Exactly.
There was no economic
so
recession.
therefore I'm saying leaders have to recognize issues on the ground. If you constantly target Mr. Modi as your single point agenda, as the Congress tends to do day in and day out, you will not win elections. If you localize elections, you have a fair chance. Whether it's in Jharkhand, whether it's in Haryana, whether it's today look at Arvind Kejriwal. When Shaheen Bagh happened, the BJP was trying to put him into a trap to respond to Shaheen Bagh and make the issue about Shaheen Bagh. Kejriwal didn't respond. The left liberals were angry with him. Kahan hai Kejriwal? Why is he not taking? Because Kejriwal realized, मैं ये issue Hindu-Muslim नहीं बनाऊंगा. Tejasvi also realized that the Muslim vote तो आना ही है हमारे साथ. मैं लेकिन ये चुनाव हिंदू मुस्लिम नहीं बनने
but why are you
दूंगा.
looking at it only from the Congress's
That's my
perspective?
view.
The reality in this poll is, this is, respondent after respondent says he likes the work that Prime Minister Modi and the BJP are doing at the center. This is massive anti-incumbency against the Nitish Kumar government, and it is, Rajat, whether anybody accepts it or not, in public, in private they'll all accept it, in public whether they accept it, a missed opportunity for the BJP. If they had the guts, they could have gone alone, they would have probably won. Bihar in 2015 was the BJP's Waterloo when they went alone and lost because they went alone. This time they could have gone alone again and come up with different results. They went in with a partner and they've lost.
Before Rajat responds, let me just add to the very quickly. This is precisely the logic which the Congress, you see, this is the mistake Congress made in 2019. They saw the election in Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh and thought, ab to BJP gayi. Not realizing that a national election very different to a state election. If the Congress, and I heard Anshul say that, you know, this is a, if the Congress thinks that this is Modi on decline, they've got it again wrong. This is a state election fought in particular circumstances with economic distress, COVID pandemic, a 15-year chief minister. You have a good chance.
Rahul,
every election in India is different to the other. One size doesn't fit all.
I would
Rahul,
like to
can we also
confirm
get a
your
word in?
thesis.
Yes.
Confirm your thesis. Let's discuss Jharkhand, which was pre-COVID. Similar circumstances. Chief Minister had not been there for 2 terms or anything like that. Let's also put in the factor that there is something going wrong with this double engine statement. Maybe Raghuvar Das didn't localize it enough, so I'm borrowing a leaf from your thesis. Maybe there was anti-incumbency. Once again in Jharkhand, the situation was that the poor were struggling. The labor was really getting out. There's something wrong about the fact that there is a lot of inequality on the ground and the poorest are getting out from this whole veneer of a national government. So while they like to vote for national government and national issues in national elections, come the state government, issues of inequality, poverty, labor are taking center stage, particularly in the northern parts of the country.
Yes. Sorry.
No, see, again, as you said, I understand the strategy that Tejasvi and Congress together played on was to hyper-localize the election, pick issues constituency by constituency and target the incumbent. They targeted the incumbent so strongly that a lot of sitting ministers of the JDU were shooed back. Public threw stones at their vehicles, their prachar vehicles and all of that, and they literally didn't allow them to speak. And this is where the hyper-localization played well for them if the results come out the way exit polls are predicting. But here is where I differ from what happens when you zoom out and look at the national level. National level, Congress or any of these regional parties, even if the elections are held today, even between a COVID or whatever it is, they will not be able to match the might that, the electoral might that the BJP has and the clear-cut roadmap that Prime Minister Modi lays out before the voters. In my sense, BJP needs to do some tinkering with its strategy when it goes to state, and you have to deal with hyper-local issues. And this is where I will just bring in Biden's analogy again. Biden was constantly being distracted to speak on the black issues, Black Lives Matter and all of those things, but he stayed away. He didn't talk about it. He said my own, he didn't even talk about the SCOTUS, the Supreme Court's newly elected judge. He kept the focus on COVID, because he knew where it is going to hurt Trump the most.
Yes, sir.
So, like, I completely agree. See, issues matter, agenda setting matter, and you don't have to get in the trap of the opposition. One thing which is common across the story and the difference between national and state elections is that what BJP, when it goes to the state, it doesn't do the alliance management well. In Jharkhand, they basically chucked out AJSU. Right? AJSU damaged them in 11 seats, and that was the difference in what the final thing was. Even if you look at this exit poll, today LJP is getting 7% vote, and the difference between MGB and NDA is just 5%. So had this alliance management been done, they would have been better. And mind you, I'm not saying this is the most important issue. I'm saying elections have to, you have to get everything right.
Yes, Javed. Yes.
You know, this business of if the BJP had gone alone, they would have won. My view is if the BJP...
No, we're not saying one.
Allow me to finish.
Yes, go ahead.
There are lots of things you say I disagree with, but I, digest it. So, if the BJP had gone alone, perhaps they would have done better than what they will do now. But I don't think you be a part of government at the 11th hour, you disentangle from the government and fight on your own, I don't think they would have won. This election has also provided more than enough proof that there are limitations to hyping up and polarizing election. Polarizing doesn't always work. Mr. Yogi and I'm sorry to say even the Prime Minister did their bit to try and polarize, but it didn't work. If there's not enough on the ground to back you up by way of your work, then these things don't work.
Yeah, I think though, of course, remember, Bihar is being fought and 15 years of anti-incumbency is a lot. We discussed chemistry and arithmetic, and I want to borrow from Dr. Shastri, who says in the US, economics and geography also mattered in a way. The geography of America and its economics mattered. But Anshul, the point, you're still with us. Will the Congress in a way become like the Democrats? Make yourself more electable to the entire country. Don't see every election and get convinced that you're on your way back. You're not. You're organizationally decrepit at the moment. You're dependent on the likes of Tejasvi. Look at his energy. 19 rallies in a day. Where is the Congress leader who can even match that? My point is, does the Congress recognize you've got to come back to the center, like Biden did in the US, to defeat, let's say, Mr. Modi, or try and defeat a leader like Mr. Modi? Every day you run an ideology. It's not an ideological war. You have to fight a strategic war. Are you aware of that? Like Tejasvi fought?
Rajdeep, let me, I broadly agree with you that there is a difference between a national and a local election, but I disagree that, let's stick to Bihar for the moment. I mean, what has happened in Bihar is not just an indictment of Nitish Kumar. I know he's been conveniently made into a scapegoat by the BJP. It's also an indictment of the BJP. I mean, Javed was partially right when he said that economic issues always take to the fore when it comes even to the local elections. He tried his best to polarize the election. It didn't happen. This is also an indictment of the BJP in the state. They wouldn't have got away scot-free had they fought on their own, because they were a part of the government for the past 3 years. It was an ill-fated alliance. I don't know what it was, but they chose to be together. It was a part of the government, and we must remember who the finance minister was during these 3 years.
Sure, I am asking you, does the Congress, will the Congress learn lessons from the likes of Tejasvi and start also in its own states where you are in a direct contest with the BJP, also start playing politics more imaginatively and strategically?
We have already started. We were always doing that. We've started making adjustments. The thing with the Congress is it does what it says. I mean, in Chhattisgarh, in Punjab, in Rajasthan, wherever we have state governments, but the kind of promises it's made, it's done them over there. And over here in Bihar as well, the plank in which it's come from, which is essentially Berozgari, it plans to fulfill all those promises. It will be a critical part of this Mahagathbandhan. It's not just a younger brother.
The reality is, in Bihar, and today the Congress is the side story. Today is the day of Tejasvi Yadav, who will emerge, if these post-poll studies are correct, as the man of the match, the second person to be the third member of a political family in India to become chief minister. Apart from the Abdullahs, it's only the Yadav family which has had Rabdi, Lalu, and possibly now Tejasvi Yadav becoming chief minister. You had earlier Farooq Abdullah, Sheikh Abdullah, and Omar Abdullah, and he will be the second youngest chief minister at 31 years of age, the second youngest chief minister of India.
And let me throw a story at the end. I remember watching Lalu win in 1995. There was an all-day party going on in his bungalow, and there was an old man sitting in the corner. Oh, he was not getting involved. मैंने कहा आप कर क्या रहे हैं? He said, sir, आज मुझे चीफ मिनिस्टर के बंगले में बैठने का मौका मिला है. क्या जगन्नाथ बाबू के टाइम पे मैं यहाँ आ भी सकता था? Lalu gave people a voice. I think
sense of belonging.
That social revolution, but it ran its course because of the kind of person Lalu was. I think Tejasvi has an opportunity, if these numbers stand, to take it to the next level. But it's a huge challenge. And Lalu told me a story saying that my mother could not take water from the well. Aaj main Mukhyamantri banao. This is, and
but the son is winning by not having Lalu anywhere in the poster.
And he doesn't have. And one of Tejasvi's sisters is in Singapore, living in the same building as my sister, and her husband is a banker. 2 generations. This is Bihar has seen tectonic shifts from the era of the Brahman, Bhumiyars, Kayas, Rajputs, to then the Lalu generation, to possibly what we. I think this is going to be churning. My belief is, Rahul, and this is my contentious belief, this is only a semi-final election. The real election in Bihar will be fought 5 years from now,
Yeah,
when you will have more new faces emerging. Tejasvi will have to prove himself if these numbers are right and become chief minister, but expect more churning, more change in Bihar. Bihar is ripe for change.
You know, we have seen a lot of states choosing a government other than the NDA, and that's a fact. But we should also look at how has the performance been of these new people who have come in and replaced the BJP. We were talking about Jharkhand. Jharkhand right now is reeling under absolute misgovernance. You just go out on the streets and people are begging that those days were better. Even with Raghubar Das as the chief minister, we can still go back to those days, but Bhagwan inse bachai. No, this is the fact. No, I'm telling you, go by
But from an Indian perspective,